So, have you ever really looked at things, the broad picture around you and, society and what we become? And, when you're doing this, have you ever, kind of wondered how we've gotten here and how the situation seems to perpetuate itself? It continues. Day to day, things mostly remain the same. You know, um, obviously with all the research and the digging into questions that I've done, going on at least the last going on 3 years, I've put some things together, my own thoughts and conclusions about, why things work the way they do. And I mean, we have a lot of commonality. One of the things that ends up helping to perpetuate things and, pretty much propping up the system as we know it, is the direct result of education. Most of us, we go through a certain number of years of, grade school, middle school, high school, education. And, that's basically at the state level, country, whatever, depending on where you're at. So, I mean, that's one of the things that kind of forms our realities for us. But, at some point in time, of course, for everybody, that formal education comes to an end. I have separate beliefs when it comes to education. I feel that it should be a lifelong process because we don't live in a vacuum. So, a lot of kids, they complain about going to school. You and myself, more than likely, I was one that didn't care a whole lot for school. I couldn't wait till it was over. Then later on, I ended up going through military and then college, and at the college level, it's a lot different because then it winds up being something that you're doing because you want to do it. It's not something that you're doing because you have to do it. So, that's one of the very large base principles of conditioning that pretty much props up their system at this point in time. But there has to be a continuation in order to continue to keep that system propped up. And that's the other thing that we all pretty much share as well, and that's what I like to call lamestream media. I call it lamestream media because, at least for America at this point in time, we have about 3 corporations that literally control everything that we see, hear, read. Okay, through the TV, radio, and newspapers and print publications. So, this really isn't a good thing. It doesn't provide for uh, the type of wide possibilities or views that something that wasn't so controlled might provide to the public. So this is another means for them to kind of continue the indoctrination and the process that keeps all of us believing in their system and following their system. So this next one is kind of based on the premise of that media system and what it does. And basically, it's something that I've termed, the destruction of humanity through greed is success from lamestream media manipulation. Everything today is about the collection of things, rampant consumerism, the whole he who has the most toys wins. Why is that? Why are kind old ladies collecting 50 cats in a trailer or kind old guys with a shed full of hubcaps something to be committed to mental hospitals, but People collecting lifetimes and generations worth of currency are foisted onto the covers of magazines and paraded out on TV shows. Oh, that's right, because Lamestream Media and the school system tells us that's the way it should be. And they dictate what is supposedly normal. They tell us what is just. They tell us what we should look like, what we should eat, what we should drink, what we should wear, what we should say, in totality, how we should act. It's a bunch of bobbleheads constantly in our heads, stripping us of ourselves, robbing us of our independent thought, conditioning us subliminally while the elite fat cats and corrupt government laugh all the way to the bank. It's just another tool in human farming and the conditioning of society, not to our way, but their way. All tools to perpetuate and prop up their system, the same system that keeps them in control, the same system that profits them their fortunes, the same system that exploits the masses while greed continues causing poverty, hunger, homelessness, fear, and despair. Lamestream Media is nothing but a pressure box, an apple press for our heads, squeezing out the actions they wish dictating for us through subtle subliminal suggestion. The banking fiascos of 2008, the banking scandals of 2012, the corrupt government, the unethical and criminal behavior of corporations, and invading other sovereign countries and acts of aggression have all unfolded through vivid images displayed from the idiot box. What does that teach us or our children? Daily, we face an onslaught of images of what we're to be, how we're to act. Buy this car and you'll be normal. Have women at your beck and call. Be popular and fit into our box dictating what society should be. Paint your face this way with these cosmetics and you'll have men desiring you. You can't be without this nifty gadget because it will make your life easier. Everyone has an iPod 5, so you should have one too. Look at this person. They worked hard and look at what they created for their life. If you just worked harder, you could be just like them. Put yourself in debt and you can have an education, a house, a shiny new car. Give us all your money and work hard so you can give us even more money. Men look like this and do this. Women look like that and do that. Is this what life is really about? It's about consumerism. It's about screwing over anyone you can just to get what you want. It's about conformity and obedience. When Lamestream Media and school systems teach that success is about winning and accumulating through any means, without any boundaries or limitations regarding morality, how can we be surprised about the eventual outcome of our society and children? Of course, schools supposedly suggest morality. Parents have a responsibility to foster it in their children as well. But Lamestream Media comes along and strips it away. Success has portrayed through media foist the biggest wage earners when shows where such people did immoral things, and even sometimes with lack of justice shows that it's okay to do immoral things because you just might get away with it. Why do we allow this? Why do we let them get away with what they do? Why do we not hold Lamestream Media, our government, and justice system to higher moral standards? They say that society can be judged and quality measured through looking at what it rewards. Since Lamestream Media is a reflection of us because of what we accept, what we allow, what we refuse controlling through silence and apathy, or what we support, then what does that say about our society? Why are we a society of things instead of a society of people? Why are the supposed yardsticks of success set by the controllers instead of the controlled? Is this the system you want where it's about obtaining things instead of obtaining value? Are things what are valuable to you? Many Many realize the issues. Many feel helpless, not knowing what to do to change the status quo. Many are so stuck in survival mode that they spend all their resources from day to day just trying to live. Really, not even live. A lot of them just try to survive. Many are so self-involved and short-sighted that they have no clue about the broader picture of how things might affect them in future or their future generations. We live in a very disconnected society, focused on our own lives from the orchestrated events that keep us consumed by fear, distracting us from anything but the day-to-day mentality. There is little self-chosen social responsibility to our fellow man. Everyone is scratching and clawing to get theirs, leave their mark, etc. When do we awaken to realize our own actions and how it further divides us? The first step to turning this around has to start with individual decisions. Do we want to be a part of the problem, or do we want to be a part of the solution? Do we know what we support, or do we just follow the crowd? Do we swallow what lamestream media forces down our throats, or do we dig to find other views for consideration? Do we know what the business we give our hard-earned dollars supports? Do we remain silent and complacent concerning our government's actions, or do we stand together against them? Each person has a part to play in turning things around. What choices do you make daily? What are you doing differently today than yesterday? Or are you still doing the same and bitching about the situation not changing? Do you even know it needs to change or the role you play in it? We are the majority. We outnumber them. Find reasons to unite instead of reasons to stay. We all suffer from corrupt government. We all suffer from corrupt corporations. We all suffer from corrupt bankers. We all need clean food and water, breathable air. As long as we maintain a society that rewards greed as success, crushing competition without knowledge of compassion or sportsmanship, and placing importance through fame upon those that accumulate the most toys or coins, society as a whole will continue destroying itself in pursuit of those things. When do we reach a point of evolution to recognize that our present yardsticks to success destroy our society? Can anyone see how much destruction and exploitation our present path generates? Does anyone not see the destruction and exploitation of people, our earth, animals, all from greed and pursuit of things and wealth? How many homes does one need? How many cars does one need? Does anyone realize the difference between real needs and wants? Why do we keep allowing a conditioning that only creates self-centered drones, perpetuating a consumeristic system that's only destroying us and our planet? Is this the future you want for yourself and your future family generations, where greed and accumulation of things become the meaning of life? What choices will you make? Think about it.